بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. I am grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me this opportunity to be with you again. 2 weeks ago we had the session from St. Ottilian in Munich in Germany, where we had dialogue with our Catholic friends in Germany, and last Sunday I traveled to Iran to receive 8 Catholic guests for the 7th round of Catholic Shia dialogue. And this time, for the first time, we took them also to Mashhad. So Friday and Saturday we were in Mashhad, and we had very good time there in the Shrine and other places. And as Brother Jihad said, I just came back. Alhamdulillah, the meetings went very well, and our friendship deepened even more. And I hope that inshallah we will be able to establish good relation with all believers in God, and then extend our unity to some extent to all people of goodwill. When it comes to the followers of Abrahamic religions, there is a great amount of commonalities that we have. There is great love for God that we share, and the core of all these Abrahamic religions is submission to God, which is something that we should all try to achieve, and with those who are committed to it, we should feel very close. Okay, we continue our discussion about merits of knowledge. As you remember, we talked about some of the hadith that Shahid Thani in Munyat al-Murid, under this title, as mentioned, فصل فيما روي عن النبي صلى الله عليه وآله في فضل العلم, a chapter about what has been narrated from the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم on the merits of knowledge. We already mentioned some of these hadith, and I am going to continue. One of the hadith is, I'm not sure whether I read this hadith or not. In any case, I read it if it was read, so it's a reminder. If not, so we are not at least going to miss it. All these hadiths are from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man talaba al-ilm fahuwa kas-sa'imi naharahu wal-qa'imi laylah. The one who is seeking knowledge, a seeker of knowledge, is like the one who fasts his days and stays awake his nights for ibadah. Kasa'im naharahu, the one who fasts all his days. Imagine a person who is fasting all his days, and a person who keeps awake and does ibadah all his nights. This is the value of seeking knowledge. وَإِنَّ بَابًا مِنَ الْعِلْمِ يَتَعَلَّمُهُ الرَّجُلُ خَيْرٌ لَهُ مِنْ أَنْ يَكُونَ أَبُو قُبَيْسَ ذَهَبًا فَأَنْفَقَهُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. A gate of knowledge, maybe meaning a branch of knowledge, maybe meaning some knowledge that is beneficial for your life, and it's enough to bring changes to your life. So a gate of knowledge that a person learns is better for him than having the Mount Abu Qubais in Mecca next to Kaaba from gold, and then giving it out as charity, as sadaqah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine how much reward is for sadaqah, to the extent that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء. When you give something for sadaqah, it becomes like 700 or even can be multiplied. So sadaqah is very important. Now imagine if a person has amount of gold and gives all of it for sadaqah with good intention, fi sabilillah, for the sake of Allah. How much reward is there for such person? With Mount Abu Qubais, you can, if it is gold and you distribute, you can help maybe thousands, if not, millions of poor people, thousands of families you can, help them. It can be millions of golden bar, and each can change the life of one family. But Rasulullah said, if you learn a gate of knowledge, a branch of knowledge, a discipline, or something that can help you and benefit you in life, it's better than giving as sadaqah, as charity, the Mount Abu Qubais from gold. So I don't think there can be any way to explain the value of knowledge more than this. How important it is to learn, but learning something that is helping us in our journey towards perfection, towards getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, becoming a better person, a better believer. Another hadith, again from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man ja'ahu al-maut wa huwa yatlubu al-ilm liyuhyiya bihi al-Islam. Very beautiful. The person whose death comes, if you die in this condition, وَهُوَ يَطْلُبُ الْعِلْمِ, while he is seeking knowledge. Maybe you are, for example, studying, you are taking notes, you are attending a lecture, you are watching a lecture. Maybe we have, webinar for discussion, and one of us dies. May Allah give all of you long life. But if we are supposed to die, so it's very good if we die when we are learning. We don't want to wish early deaths for anyone, but if we are supposed to die, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that our death happens in the best of conditions. And one of the best of conditions is when you are seeking knowledge or sharing knowledge. من جاءه الموت وهو يطلب العلم ليحيي به الإسلام. The one whose death comes while he is seeking knowledge in order to revive with this knowledge Islam. He wants to learn, to preserve Islam, to protect Islam, to share Islam with other people, to respond to the questions and objections. In any case, he wants to strengthen faith and Islam. He wants to help, to serve. كان بينه وبين الأنبياء درجة واحدة في الجنة. Between such person and the prophets there is only one rank of difference in heaven. So he comes lower than prophets, but not very low, only one rank below them. So this shows how important it is. The prophets dedicated their lives to sharing with people the knowledge, the guidance, the inspirations, the light that Allah gave them. If someone is seeking knowledge in order to do the same in his own capacity, in his own limited capacity, he would come very close to the prophets. In another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is quoted as saying, فضل العالم على العابد 70 درجة. The privilege of a learned, of a scholar over a worshipper is 70 ranks. So alim, a true alim, a pious alim, and a worshipper whose ibadah is pure. So in both cases, imagine purity is there. Because if ibadah is not for the sake of Allah, has no value, and if knowledge is not coming with piety, again, it's not important. So, if we have a pious scholar and pious and pure worshipper, for sure, alim is better than worshipper only. We mean by worshipper the one who just worships. He doesn't get engaged in teaching, learning, and scholarly activities. So alim is better, but how much is better? Rasulullah is quoted as saying there are 70 ranks of difference. فضل العالم على العابد 70 درجة. There are 70 ranks of difference. And these ranks are not little. It's not that, for example, it's 70 inches or 70 centimeters or 70 meters. No, each daraja by itself is great. To get an idea, we use a metaphorical idea. Rasulullah says, بين كل درجتين, between every two rank. For example, if this is level 1 and then this is level 2, how much difference between level 1 and 2? It's not 1 meter or 1 kilometer. It is حضر الفرس 70 عاما, is like the journey of a horse for 70 years. You know, if a horse travels every day for 1 year, maybe can go, say few thousand kilometers. Because if every day a horse maybe can travel, more than 100 kilometers, for sure, maybe 200, 300 kilometers every day. Then for 1 year, how much? Then for 70 years. Of course, it's metaphorical because we are not talking about geographical distance, but just imagine. So, 70 ranks of difference between alim and abid, and each rank is more than 70 years of journeying and traveling by horse. Why? Why so much difference? وَذَلِكَ لأن الشيطان يضع البدعة للناس. The reason is that Satan makes heresies, heretical ideas are suggested by Satan and his followers. للناس, for people. They want to misguide people. They want to take people away from path of true revelation. فَيَبْصُرُهَا الْعَالِمُ or يُبْصِرُهَا الْعَالِمُ. Both is possible. Then the scholar, true scholar, would see with his insight, with his basira, he would see. When he sees this heresy means bid'ah, فَيُزِيلُهَا, and removes it, doesn't let people get affected and poisoned by this. But what about Abid? Abid is only enjoying his ibadah. وَالْعَابِدُ يُقْبِلُ عَلَىٰ عِبَادَتِهِ. He is concerned with his ibadah, with his worship, while alim is struggling to protect people against heretical ideas. So the difference is a lot. The last hadith for today. فضل العالم على العابد كفضلي على عدناكم. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the privilege, the preference of a scholar, of a learned person over a worshipper, كفضلي على أدناكم, is like my privilege over, or my superiority over أدناكم. Adna can mean the nearest of you or the lowest of you. I think the nearest is better, because if we say the lowest, then we have the maximum difference, because Rasulullah with the lowest of mu'mineen. Alim is less than Rasulullah, and Abid is not the least of mu'mineen. So for sure the difference between Rasulullah and the lowest of mu'mineen would be much more than Alim and Abid. So it's better to say nearest. So if you have Rasulullah and then you have believers who are in the closest position more than other believers, but still how much difference is between Rasulullah and best of mu'mineen? A big difference. Rasulullah is our guide, is our role model. So the difference between alim and abid is also this much. Then Rasulullah said, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu wa ahla samawati wal ard hatta namlate fi juhraha wa hatta al-hute fi al-ma' la yusalluna ala muallim al-nas al-khair or la yasalun, but I think yusallun should be better. Maybe it's yusallun. The hadith is like this: Inna Allah, truly Allah, God the Almighty, wa malaikatahu, His angels, and the inhabitants of the skies and the earth, ahla samawati wal ard. So anything that is in the sky and the earth, whether it be physical or immaterial. For example, hatta an-namla fi juhra, even an ant in its hole, even fish in water, they all send salutations. Ala muallim al-nas al-khayrah, the one who teaches people good things. La yusalluna ala muallim al-nas al-khayrah, the one who teaches people good things. Allah sends salutations to him, angels send salutation to him, the inhabitants of the skies and the earth also send salutations to him. So this is how much such people who guide people, who teach people, are loved by everyone, whether it be our Creator or His angels or His creatures. So we stop here and we humbly ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His salutations to Muhammad and Ala Muhammad, and to true ulama of Ahlul Bayt and seekers of knowledge, and to include us among them. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala includes us among the true learned people or learners, that would be a great honor and achievement, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this great honor and achievement. So I stop here, and then inshallah we can start with the questions and comments. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.